Hi everyone, it's Angus Campbell here. It's January the 1st, 2020. Happy New Year everyone. I just thought I'd do a quick intro to the year just by giving you some snippets into plans that I have for the bikes and shows and everything else, and what we've got to do in the short to medium term with respect to episodes on the channel. So what I'm going to do is take a seat on the old rolling stool and have a tour around the garage in between the bikes, seeing as though I've had to move one or two this evening to clear a bit of oil on the floor because the Bandit sumped its oil. So let's have a quick tour and I'll let you know what I'm hoping to do this year. So first up then, the view from the garage stool. As you've seen in recent episodes, then we've got the E35 SS now being built up, and since the last episode that I published recently, where we've put the barrels on, then I've laid out the parts there for the next episode, which is the oil pump on the left and also the idler gear for the cam chain drive, which will attack on the other side of the motor in the next episode. But also what I've done, actually I just will stand up here, because what I've also done today, just as a small job, and as per comments received from one or two interested parties and noted, is that I've taken out the studs and cut them and dressed them to suit the correct, well, to the required lengths, I should say, because they were a little bit all over the place. So they're now tidied up, shortened and dressed, and I think they look an awful lot neater. And as we've said before, then although the Fury and the Bandit have been built up with actually bolts to secure the two crankcase halves together, then the parts book does state studs, nuts and washers, so that's what we've done here. So anyway, hopefully that looks a little bit tidier and a bit more professional, and I certainly agree anyway. So thanks for feedback on that. So there'll be an episode in the near future focusing on the pump here, which we are going to take apart just to check the drive off the crank for the cam chain with its spindle there, and this is just the cap for the oil filter chamber, which is just there together with spring, and also on top of that lives the as you can see, the oil pressure warning light switch. Right, so that's the E35 SS. So if we get down onto the stool and kind of look round, so if we swing round from that, we've got the rolling chassis on the hydraulic bench there, and that's waiting for the motor. And once we've fitted the oil pump to that motor, then we will actually slot that into the frame and continue building that up from within the frame, and we'll start the bike then to start to see the bike really taking shape. So that's one of the short-term, obviously, focuses. The other one, as you'll all be aware, is the A70 Lightning, and the position with that is that we can carry on with doing a few smaller jobs with respect to finish off the primary drive, just checking the clutch actuation is correct, and closing up the primary drive case for good. And we can do one or two other bits and pieces with respect to wiring under the tank and cabling, etc. But the thing that we're waiting for now is are the barrels, which are being relined and bored to new standard A70 pistons, and I should get those back sort of mid-January time from Ward's Engineering in Rugby, who are about half an hour's drive from me, and the nearest traditional engineering shop that I know now as a family firm. But they know A65 certainly pretty well, and they've certainly got all the kit. And they're also going to undertake some final machining that's required on the E35 SS head, which is here, which looks all complete and cleaned up, but actually the tappet hole guides and the valve, oh dear, what do we call them, valve guides, all this area has yet to be final machined, so we can then press those items in, and also we've yet to have valve seats inserted too, but he can do all that work, and that's lined up to begin once we've got the A70 barrels back. So that's short to medium term, and the reason for that and the E35 SS is that together with the Rocket 3, which is all good except for usual seasonal service when we put that back on the road, and the Show Fury at the end here, then those two just need, say, servicing and cleaning to join the E35 SS and the Lightning, because they're all going to the Stafford International Show April 25th and 26th this year, because I've secured a stand in the main hall, and at the end of the video here I'll put a map of that up so you can see where I'll be, which is stand M15 I think, but that won't mean much to anybody. But I'm in the main hall, from the front main entrance I'm towards the back and on the right, and I'll have all these there. So that's the sort of short to medium term plan. What I'm also going to do this year is try and get a bit more riding in with as many bikes as possible, and filming. And also what we want to do as well is to recommission the Bandit as well, and also get some film of that on the road too. The Bandit is not my bike. I restored stroke built it up from some big lumps and parts that have been collected by a friend over a number of years, who incidentally has also got a Fury. But this is with me at the moment, and the reason why it's still here was because we've been taking a couple of parts of it, namely the auto advance mechanism, which is unique to Fury Bandit, to get patterns made up. So we've got this to recommission, because I don't know if you can see just there, where's my finger, so just there you'll see the covers off the points there, and actually the auto advance mechanism is out at the moment. So we've got that to refit, and for the bike to time up. We'll get that running again, and we'll get some hopefully some footage of that on the road. I think there are some doubters about as to whether the first video I ever posted on my channel, which is still up, is actually a rather poor one in portrait mode of this running in the driveway once I'd not long after I'd first got this running. And I think there are some doubters as to whether or not that video has been manipulated and this isn't a runner, but I can assure you it is, so we'll get some more evidence of that. I'm not sure if this is going to accompany the rest of the bikes at Stafford. There's going to be enough room to do that, but it's obviously up to the owner as to whether or not he'll allow me to take it, and whether or not it'll allow me to break up obviously the BSA grey frame theme, which is obviously the focus of my channel. But it would be nice to have it there, and for those of you that regularly go to Stafford, then you'll have seen the Bandit and the Fury there together, probably 3 years ago, and then a couple of years ago I had the Fury and the Rocket 3 there. But anyway, that's the the big aim anyway is April plus some more riding on these bikes, and focus a bit more on maintenance rather than building up. But following that, then it'll be a case of, well, do we add a single to the collection? I'm rather keen on a B50, right? But I have ridden in my youth as a teenager. My brother had a B25 SS, a home market one with the twin leader, and we quite enjoyed that, and took it to the Isle of Man once as well, I think. So that would have been probably around about 1980, 81. So yeah, maybe I was in my early 20s. But anyway, I have ridden B25 SS, but I've never ridden a B50. But I do like the look of the B50s. I actually like the 72 version in high violet, and I might be a bit naughty really, and if I do decide to secure one and to restore one and get that on the road, I'm very tempted to mix the high violet 72 colour with a grey frame, which some people might frown upon, but anyway, I just think that'd be a great colour combination as with the others. So anyway, that's a quick update. There are one or two rallies that I've got my eye on, and also as well, if Stafford goes well as a show, to promote the channel through a stand, an exhibition type approach, then I might do other shows around the country as well. But I'm not retired, so I've still got a full-time job as well, so I've just got to make sure I get everything slotted in and not try to stretch myself. But at the moment I'm going to have quite a bit on my hands really to get everything ready for Stafford if I can. But the good news is that I do have quite a bit of holiday to take from work between now and the end of March, so I'm pretty confident we can get the 4 grey framers there. The Fury SS might have one or two things to finish off, probably the exhaust. The pipes are done, but the silencers are not, and that's going to be quite a big job. So I've got a multitude of silencers ready that are going to get butchered actually to try and replicate the shape of the originally planned silencers for these. You can see that the Bandit SS does have what look to be a good set of silencers, and I think these are ex-factory, but they're not to the exact design pattern for when the bike was due to be in full production. They do look good, but they're not correct, and we'll try and make a set that's a bit more faithfully replicates some of the photographs that we have of models, both pre-production ones and marketing photographs that were done, particularly the one with Carol Cleveland and the test rider Tony Lomas of the Bandit SS in the grounds of Umberslade Hall. I'll try and dig that out as well, just to show you that, but that's probably the best view of the silencers as they were originally intended to be, so we're going to try and replicate those if we can. It'll be pretty difficult, but we're going to have a go. Okay, that's enough of me rambling on rather than doing any work, I think. But hopefully that's an introduction to the channel for this year, and hopefully I'll get to meet some of you in my rounds this year, and that'll be good. But thanks to those of you that show interest, comment and subscribe, and hopefully we'll have many more episodes this year. Once again, Happy New Year everybody, and this is the start of 2020, and see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.